many things get revealed when it's dark. That's why I like the dark. It's honest. It hides nothing. If you open your eyes, are you scared of the dark? I'm not. But until then, prepare to have your ears tortured. It's From the Front Row with Johnathan T. Rokford. I love this game. Let's play.
So, Flip, I don't know what the hell was going on with that. I mean, come on. Champs out there, everybody's always like, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me, and then want to cry when you call them out about it. I don't get it. I mean, well, yeah, I know it's spooky. It's kind of scary, actually. They're delusional. What's up, folks? It's me, Johnathan T. Rokford, here with another edition of From the Front Row. Folks, we are currently in Crown Jewel weekend. And I don't know what to tell you, but it's some exciting matches, but we will get into those a little bit later. First, let's recap our game changer action from last week, as we had the Blueprint taking on the Messiah. And honestly, I've been impressed with the Blueprint. He's been stoic in his title run as the Game Changer champion, not letting outside voices creep into his soul, setting a new standard of performance. And he did defeat the Messiah, then went on to challenge Lycan Umbros, another tough opponent, and beat him. Now, as it often happens with our Game Changer champions, he had one miscue. And, well, the booker decided to help him out on that one, as JP DiMaggio, the notorious one, was given the right to challenge for the Game Changer Championship. And just as recently as last night, that match ended and the Blueprint came out on top. Now, he's actually already called out his next opponent, as it will be the Master, Sean Puff, versus the Blueprint, Jackson Aries, for the Game Changer Championship by the time you see this video. Now, in regular action, South Bronx Savage took on Martel the Carpenter and the Pinnacle of Humanity, Adrian Christopher. And South Bronx Savage continued on his winning ways and defeated both competitors. Of course, we all know who he pinned, folks. I don't have to. Do I really have to tell you? Like, seriously. Seriously? But I really gotta tell him who he pinned? Fine. I swear to God. He pinned Martel, folks. I mean, come on. You think after 3 years, you would know where the joke was going. Now, in our next bout, it was Casper 2779 taking on Wolf Knight. And Casper picked up a very good win. I mean, he kind of, any win he gets is probably going to be a good win. I mean, come on. Seriously. Now, in our next match, Crusher LB was slated to take on Nebraska, who seems to be missing lately. I mean, if I was a Killer Goons, I'd be checking to see where the hell he's at. So, Crusher LB sat down on commentary and provided some in-depth insight to our matches and performers that were in the ring, and their opponents actually showed up. Now, Shona Campbell was taking on Money MF and Mike from the Killer Goons, and Mike pulled out a good win against 1/3 of the Trios champs. Yeah, I think they officially just called her part of the Trios championship now. You can't trust the Darkstalker. Now, in our next match, it was the Beast versus the Badass Eddie Vendetti, but apparently that was not the original plan and was changed midday. And the Beast probably, I don't know, anybody would have still lost anyway, but it was the Badass Eddie Vendetti picking up the win over the Beast. All right, that's 2/3 of the Trios champions just down. Now, Jay LeMasters wound up taking on the Master Sean Puff. It was not too pleased. Felt his match should have been more on a pay-per-view status. I don't know what pay-per-view. You know, I was a little disappointed in his response. You know, that anytime they get in the ring is going to be normally pay-per-view status, but lately the Master ain't really pay-per-view status. He's just there. But he did pick up the win over one of the toughest SOBs in WPA, which he probably very desperately needed. Although I probably put an asterisk on that one. I don't think Jalen Masters really put a lot of effort into that one. It's kind of suspect. Now, in the match, it was kind of interesting when an old rivalry was renewed as Johnny Rocco took on Big Mel. Remember, the last time I said they saw each other was when Big Mel took a title off of Johnny Rocco. Pretty sure that was the last time they saw each other. I think they saw each other in the triple threat match one time. But one-on-one. That's the one I remember. That's the most significant one. And Johnny Rocco came out on top. That was a good match, too. Yeah. Johnny was able to miss that little move that Big Mel does of his finisher and hit him with the Charm City Driver. Pretty good. It was a pretty good match. I mean, hell. Johnny Rocco's been on a roll lately. I don't know what it is. Okay. Now, in our next match, Lycan Umbris was slated to take on Hakeo Jason Shepard. And we don't know what happened, but Lycan was a little bit tired of waiting. And he demanded the ref ring the bell. And he did. And the ref started his count. And then rang the bell again. And Lycan Umbris was declared the winner. I mean, it was kind of weird for Hakeo not to show up. I don't know what happened to him. Something part of me tells me that Lycan probably took him out prior to the match and then went to the ring and told the ref to ring the bell. That sounds like some shit he would do. I'm sorry. It just sounds like, I mean, it's genius, actually, pick up a win, but I don't know. What do you think? Huh. Now, our next match was Red Death taking on Jermaine Walker. These two have battled over titles. And hey, I don't know if I'm almost the same situation with as Johnny Rocco and Big Mel. Red Death has defeated Jermaine for titles. But he didn't defeat him last week because Jermaine Walker picked up the win. Yeah, Jermaine's got that one blemish on his record right now. He's got to avenge that. He will avenge that eventually. Now, in our next match, it was James Altrez taking on a Darkstalker. Now, the Darkstalker won, but it was because James Altrez got disqualified after he just totally lost it. He was so infuriated with the Darkstalker that he saw Johnny Rocco sitting ringside, first of all. And Johnny had his kendo stick there. He was retaping it. And he snatched it. Now, normally if you snatch something from Johnny Rocco, he'd probably come after you. But I think he saw where James Altrez was going with the kendo stick and was like, he let him have his, his moment. But the referee kept trying to stop James Altrez from hitting the Darkstalker with the kendo stick. And he pushed the ref and accidentally kind of hit him a little. And the ref had no choice but to call for the bell. Now, multiple security came out to try to control James Altrez as he kept trying to get at the Darkstalker, who just sat there and laughed and flipped him off. Fade to black, folks. Lights went out. And when he came back, the Darkstalker was gone. And James Altrez was still struggling with security and officials. That was a tough loss. I'm pretty sure. Hey, good thing is, Johnny Rocco got his kendo stick back. So. Now, in a champion versus champion match, it was our world champ versus our intercontinental champ. Captain Mexico versus Cats and Corey. These two have had some epic battles. And this time, Captain Mexico came out on top as he prepares to defend his title this week. Actually, they're both defending their titles, but hey, schematics. We move on, of course, to number one contender matches as we were trying to find number one contenders. First, it was the tag team competition. And makeshift tag team of Nergahante and the Messiah versus Bobby Blaze and Mac Blakely. Now, that match wound up ending in a double countout as all the competitors were just vying to be the one to go face our tag team champs. So, the officials of WPA said, screw it. Make it a triple threat. Which, yeah, this league loves triple threat matches, man. Speaking of which, our next number one contender match was for the triple threat title. And in match one, we saw Draven the Sledgehammer take on Shepherd, Bane, and Polish Power. And Draven came out on top, literally pinning Polish Power to move on to the championship round. Now, match two, I'm sorry, folks. Listen. Congratulations to Machete Ramos for being the winner. But honestly, folks, it's getting kind of old now. You know, you get scheduled for a title match or you get scheduled for a number one contender match. You decide you don't want to show up. Admin decides not to put you in anymore. Then you start crying that you ain't never in a title match. Pick your battle, folks. I mean, gee whiz. So yes, Draven the Sledgehammer and Machete Ramos will be in the title match. And who would they face? We'll find out in a minute, folks, as our last number one contender match was to determine who would go on to face the TV champ. As Cloudy Diggs and took on the Idol Steve Sampson after they got screwed over by their partner in a triple trios match. And Claudia Diggs came out on top, defeating the Idol. Guess he does not for false idols. Oh, don't worry, I got on pants. Now, in our triple threat match, to determine who will be the triple threat champion, Street Fight King took on the First Lady Alexa Leslie and Lady Assassin. And the First Lady was able to pick up the win, pinning the champion. And that's twice now in the back-to-back weeks that's happened. Hey, you know, his fantasy turned into a nightmare. He lost his title, as the First Lady is now our new triple threat champion. And she will go on to face Draven, the Sledgehammer, and Machete Ramos. In our television championship, the Blueprint Jackson Aries took on Money, Michael Oliver, and Nathaniel Everett Young. And Money, once again, can call himself the television champion. He was one of our most dominant television champions the first time he held it, picking it up rather quickly, actually. Well, we'll see what he can do this time around. And in our main event, it was the notorious JP DiMaggio taking on Fat Thomas. And folks, I guarantee you the next time that JP DiMaggio faces Fat Thomas, he will not try to powerbomb him off of the ropes when he goes for his Eclipse again. Next time, just kick his leg out. Because he went to go through that, and Fat Thomas hit him with a south of the border, meaning, and by that I mean he excreted some very toxic fumes from his black hole. Well, I guess it more brown hole. Yeah, either way. Yes, the fumes alone disoriented JP DiMaggio, and allowing Fat Thomas to kick him and knock him down, and then hit the Eclipse on him and pin him, becoming your new United States champion. Wow. That was not on my bingo card. No. Yes, Flip, I have on pants. They're right here. Why do you keep asking me, do I have on pants? You sick freak. Now, this week, as we start Crown Jewel Week, there's some very interesting matches. As Money, MF, and Mike will take on Quanny Fist. I don't see that one ending very well. Johnny Rocco will take on the sponsored athlete, Jay LeMasters. Jermaine Walker will take on Big Mel. The Darkstalker will take on the David the Beast Smith. Very interesting matchup there. Can't wait to see who comes out on top on that one. We'll have the Ronin Shona Campbell taking on the Emperor 2K Anomalium and Brasso, which I don't see either one of them showing up right away. Street Fight King will take on Lady Assassin. The notorious JP DiMaggio versus the Blueprint Jackson Aries. And in our number one contender match, yeah, I know both of them lost their titles. It's like loser versus loser. Hey, this is good competition. And our number one contender match determine the next challengers for the WPA Triple Threat Championship. The Idol Steve Sampson will take on Red Death and Martel the Carpenter. And match one. Match two will see Crusher LB taking on Casper 2779 and Wolf Knight. Determine our contender, our challenger for our television championship. Shepard Bang will take on HKO Jason Shepard, and hopefully this time he shows up. I mean, gee whiz. Maybe this is what he was waiting for. And our number one contender match for the Intercontinental Championship, it will have Polish Power taking on James Outras. Tag Team Championship, Lycan Umbros and the Pinnacle of Humanity, Adrian Christopher will take on Nergahante and the Messiah versus Mac Blakely and Bobby Blaze. Triple threat title, First Lady Alexa Leslie will take on Draven, the Sledgehammer, and Machete Ramos. Money versus Cloudy Diggs for the television championship. Fat Thomas versus the Master Sean Puff for the United States Championship. Cats and Corey will face Badass Eddie Vendetti in our Intercontinental Championship. And in our main event, Captain Mexico will take on the South Bronx Savage for the WPA World Championship. It's spooky season, folks. A lot of scary things could happen. We're working on our next question. And this time, we might do a mystery box, folks. Mystery boxes are pretty cool. So we're looking around. Well, it's not a mystery to us, but you, it'll be a mystery. So once we get that question ready, you'll get your one warning, it's coming. And then it's game on, folks. That's pretty much all we got. I'm going to go back to my chips. They're pretty good. Remember, folks, hug your loved ones. Pick up the phone and call that friend that might need to hear your voice. It could be very important. They might need you. And don't drink and drive. Also, if you're taking your kiddies out for trick or treating, please do so safely. A lot of malls give away candy. I don't mean the ones you steal. No, you never gone to a mall and stores have candy and they hand it out to the little kiddies? Yeah, they do it here. Yeah. I'm Johnathan T. Rokford, folks. Philip is on assignment, but we will be posting who his pick of the week was. Deuces. So you couldn't tell me the camera was on earlier? It's kind of messed up, Flip. It's kind of messed up. You could have at least said hey. What do you mean you thought when I heard the people clapping? There's nobody in here, Flip. You think the figures are going to clap? I'm going to clap you. Dick. Flip, why are the cameras still on? Good Lord, I'm eating. Ugh.